Well, let's face it, Movil and Daimler are but one of multiple players in this ecosystem who are moving like crazy with new technologies, new innovations, new ideas, new business models. It's nuts. If you have an RSS feed that says mobility, it's going to blow your mind. Everything is changing quickly. And that's why I submit to you, we need a Bill of Rights that will govern how we innovate, how we change, and make sure we protect our vision for a good society. So let me share that with you. Again, is transit actually just another mobility service provider? Or is it this foundational core, this connective backbone to different mobility? Last year, 41 of 44 US cities saw a precipitous decline in public transit use. People are riding public transit less. And why is that? We have aging infrastructure, we have unfunded infrastructure, we also have cannibalistic tendencies from the rideshare companies, from new mobility providers, and this is an issue. So we need to talk this through. What about paying for convenience? Should you be able to pay for a ride door to door at any time you want, no matter what you want? God willing, yes. But do we do so in such a way that we forego sustainability and support? So the idea here is, can you balance both convenience and sustainability? What about paying for things? Most of us have smartphones, and yet there's a very finite subset of underbanked or unbanked members of our community who rely on cash, who don't have access to traditional financial services. How do we account for them? So when it comes to our Mobility Bill of Rights, we believe that there are key things within environmental and social equity that need to be protected and paramount to our vision. Public transit is the core and needs to remain in public hands. No turning this over or privatizing it to a rideshare company. Convenience cannot win the day if it compromises sustainability. We have to balance both measures. We also have to track and reward the systems that deliver the most people the most efficiently. We need to build in accessibility and fairness, not just to the technology, but to our values as a society. How do we make sure people can get around and we take care of them? And finally, we need to actually walk. Can you imagine? Yeah, I go to Germany every quarter. People will walk 10 minutes to get to a train. Here, the idea that you have to be picked up, that you can't walk at all, I think we need to challenge because it can make healthier people and healthier cities. So next, what do we do with the city itself? What is the city's role in all of this mobility? Are they a stakeholder and a participant, or do they drive the innovation? We believe that cities can build a marketplace for multiple private players to compete, to offer innovation, but if they don't, we stand to be served by single, large, monopolistic companies, and we have to be careful. So from a transportation and smart cities perspective, we need to marry up urban development and city growth with actual transportation and growth there. So those have to be planned together. Urban mobility also has to account for how do you get from city to city. What about people who live in rural areas? How do we account for them and make sure they have access to our service? And finally, thoughtful transit-oriented development is the way to go. It is absolutely the way to go because we want to build communities that are sustainable, that are walkable, and that really share that vision.